Looking at this diagram, you can tell that this angle here, when you add it to this angle here, has to be 90. And the reason you know that is because this angle is 90 degrees. And this is a straight angle, which must be 180 degrees, right? 180 degrees. Let me just write that out there. That has to be 180 degrees minus 90, right, equals 90. So that means that this part here, and this part here has to sum to 90. So the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 must equal to 90. So the measure of angle 1 is 4x, no, negative 4x plus 55 plus the measure of angle 2, which is negative 12y plus 63 equals 90. And the same reasoning goes for these two angles down here. This plus this must equal 90. So the measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 4 equal 90. So the measure of angle 3 is negative 5x plus 55 plus the measure of angle 4, which is minus 4y plus 26 equals 90. Now I'm collecting like terms. When you say sum, when you say add, that's like collecting like terms. So I don't have to change the sign or anything. I'm not subtracting. Okay, but the actual measure of the angle was negative 12y. So it doesn't change. It's just negative 12y. You might be confused. You might think, oh, why is it negative 12y? It's because I am simply collecting like terms. That's what adding means. Okay, so now that's minus 4x minus 12y equals 90. Now I'm subtracting from both sides 55, and I'm subtracting from both sides 63. And when I do that on the left side, 55 minus 55 is 0. 63 minus 63 is 0. So on the other side, I just have 90 minus 55 minus 63. And I can use my built-in calculator. Use the built-in calculator to work that out. 90 minus 55 minus 63 equals 28. So this is minus 4x minus 12y equals minus 28. I can see that it works. I check the submit my work and I get a good feedback. Minus 5x minus 4y equals 90. Again, for the same reasoning, I subtract from both sides. Minus 55 minus 26. And then I use my calculator. Minus 55 minus 26. That's 9. So I get minus 5x minus 4y equals 9. I check my work, and there it is. I get happy faces all the way down the line. 5 points for each standard form. You got to write each equation in standard form, right? So and I'm adding them to my other table because now I'm going to solve using elimination. I'm going to use solving using elimination. Now, these angles were complementary angles. They were because they add to 90, right? But they're not vertical. They're not adjacent. They're not right next to each other. They don't share a ray. So they're complementary but not adjacent. Okay? They're not vertical. They're not a linear pair. Right? Don't forget that you have to submit the work, otherwise you don't get the 5 points. So submit, multiple choice, all total about 15 points, right? And then now you're going to solve this system of equations using elimination, right? And no, I don't want you to use any other method. You have to use elimination. Okay? Now, so here we have a negative 4 and a negative 12. If I multiply the first equation by negative 3 times negative 4 is a positive 12. So I'll multiply both sides by negative 3. And the second equation, I don't have to multiply it by anything. I can multiply it by 1 to say that I'm multiplying it by something, but you don't even have to do that. I'm not, because I don't want the negative 12 to change. So anyways, I get negative 5 times negative 3 times negative 5 is positive 15x. Positive 12y equals negative 27, right? And then the second equation doesn't change, so I can just type it in the way it was, okay? And now I have the same, the two equations, one that was multiplied by a factor of negative 3, one multiplied by 1. Now I'm going to sum these equations, and negative 12 minus 12 equals 0, and that's what you want. So 15 minus 4 is 11x, plus 0 is equal to, and then negative 27, negative 28 is negative 55, negative 55, and divide both sides by 11. X is equal to negative 5. So x is equal to negative 5. Now I have to go back and solve for y. So I can get either one of these equations. I'm going to get this one and solve for y. Now that I know what x is, I erase x and put parentheses there and put a negative 5. And now I just simplify and solve for y. So negative 5 times negative 5 is 25, minus 4y equals 9. I subtract 25 from both sides, and I get negative 4y equals 9 minus 25 is minus 16. And I divide both sides by negative 4. Divide by negative 4. So negative 4 divided by negative 4 is 1. So that's y equals negative 16 divided by negative 4 is positive 4. And those are my two answers. Negative 5, x is equal to negative 5. Y is equal to 4. And now I need to know the measure of all these angles. So I'm going to go just type in everything. Negative 4x plus 55. Negative 12y plus 63. Negative 5x plus 55. Negative 4y plus 26, and instead of a y, I'm going to substitute the value of y, which is 4. Instead of an x, I'm going to substitute the value of x, which is negative 5. Instead of a y, I substitute the value of y, which is 4. Instead of x, I substitute the value of x, which is negative 5, and I get all my green check marks, which is nice. But now, if you didn't get the green check marks, you're doing this problem by hand. I need to check, does the measure of angle 1 add to the measure of angle 2 and equal to 90? Yes, it does. Does the measure of angle 3, 80, plus 10, does that equal to 90? Yes, they do. So they are, in fact, complementary angles, so they must add to 90. Do they add to 90? They do. So that's another check that you can do.